Hello and welcome back to episode 62 of Unknown to World Known. We're back still as QPR manager after a summer which has involved a lot of transfers, a lot of money being spent, and a fair few job interviews, applications, one offer, and lots of getting rejected. So straight after the rest of the leagues finished their season, obviously we finished a little bit early because of the playoffs. We then applied for Dortmund and Napoli, and it took them a while until they rejected us. We then went for the Benfica job after their manager retired, and they did actually interview us, but then rejected us. Then we had Lazio and Porto, and both of those rejected us without ever talking to us. And then the final one was the one where we actually had a job offer, which was Burnley. And I did the interview. I was a bit unsure about them the moment I applied. At the end, they offered me the job, and I delayed them for a week, and ahed about it. Last season they finished 13th, and in the end I decided I can see where this QPR team's going more than I could see where Burnley would be going, so I made the decision to stick with QPR. So the next thing for us to do is to jump in and have a look at signings in and out. So I've told you a slight lie there. We haven't actually sold anyone. We've released a lot of people, but we didn't sell anyone. Nobody was interested in the few players I did want to see go. Coming into the club, we start off with Julian Auld, a left back who comes in from Watford for £5 million. He's probably going to be back up to Tripadelli for the most part, I would think. Although he has got potential to be a decent left back himself, if we can improve his crossing in particular. So he's come in kind of to replace the fact that we haven't got Ronaldo back this year. We're only allowed to loan 2 players from within the Premier League. So, or something like that. We're only allowed 2 long-term loans. So we've had to pick 2 players from the many we had on loan. And Julian Auld is a player that we're bringing in to replace Ronaldo. Next up, we bought in Shola Shortire on a permanent transfer after, I think, 2 years on loan with us. No, more than that. 3 years on loan with us. We've signed him for £4 million. If we survive in the Premier League, it will rise to 5.5 million. Signed from Manchester United, and he's going to come in and is a good option for us to have play anywhere across that midfield free. So I like his depth that we've got with him. He's already played 79 games for us, and hopefully he can continue the good form he had last year in rotation in the squad, and hopefully we'll see him progress a little bit more this year. Next, we have the reason we didn't bring Geraldo back for another year on loan. We've bought in Bülent Akar on a free transfer from Trabzonspor. Coming in as a right back, he's going to rotate with Frank Mensah for the most part. I did look at Geraldo. They did transfer list him, but £21 million. I'm not sure I could justify for him when we can get this guy in on a free, who's just as good, really, and possibly slightly better defensively, which we're going to need this year. And hopefully he can continue to progress. And as I say, free transfer, not a bad deal. Then we have someone who I think could be one of the bargains of the save. Reece Grant coming in from Manchester City. As you can see, centre back who can also play left back. 16 tackling, 6'2", quite a bit of pace, good jumping reach. He just looks a very good youth player. He's only 20 years old, so much space to grow. Costs us £180,000. I would think no matter what happens, we can make a profit on him, if nothing else. I think he can come in and be a really good player for us long term, or as I say, we can get a good profit on him. Then we have one of our more expensive signings coming in for £6 million. Emmanuel Marin, a holding midfielder who can also play either position, holding midfield or central. Mostly coming in as a deep line playmaker from Chelsea. Lots and potential once again. He's already the best central midfielder at the club, and he's only going to get better. He's already got good passing, high work rate, high teamwork, good decision making. So I think he's going to come in and make a real difference to our team. And again, probably we'll sell him for a profit if nothing else. And then our final signing so far, we have got a bit more of the transfer window if we do want to make any further decisions. But we brought in Nemandi Collins, who comes in for 8.5 million from Wolfsburg. Again, slightly more developed than Reece from Manchester City. Lots of pace, good jumping reach, 6'3". We need to develop his strength a bit, especially for the Premier League. But other than that, I think he's going to come in and be quite a good player for us. And we've got a lot of depth at centre back, which is with in mind. I'm not planning it, but I'm preparing for the possibility of playing 5 at the back if I think we really need to try and shut up shop in some games. So we're going to be ready for that as an option if we need it. So overall, that means we have near enough £9 million left to spend of our transfer budget. We're going to be using this first couple of weeks to see if there's anywhere in particular I feel we need to strengthen. We're going to be kicking off our season against also promoted Bournemouth, followed by Wolves, Southampton, and the EFL Cup game. So we don't play one of the big teams until our 6th game, which is against Manchester United. We took them all the way in the FA Cup last year. Team report wise, this is how our team looks now. So Scarlett and Acalde were the 2 loanies that I chose to keep. I think that the only real debate was Acalde or Geraldo. Scarlett was always going to be staying if we were able to. So overall, I think we've got quite a well-rounded team here, and hopefully it'll be enough to keep us in the league, because we are predicted to go straight back down alongside Blackburn, Sheffield United. So hopefully we can prove this wrong. I feel mildly confident we can avoid the drop. I don't think we'll be like tearing the league apart, but I think we can do enough to stay in the league, and hopefully maybe we can get around 14th, 15th this year would be quite a nice result for us. So what we're going to do now, we're going to jump straight in and have a look at how we get on against Bournemouth. Okay, so the first lineup of QPR in the Premier League, we have Effenberger in goal. At right back, we've got a car, a back 2 of Collins and the Greek guy, Tripadelli at left back, Masengo and Casata as the holding midfielders, Forson on the right, Acalde through the middle, Chair on the left, and Scarlett is up front. Marin is probably the biggest new signing that's missing from this team. He's on international duty with the Uruguay under 23s. I believe it's in the Olympics. So for our sake, hopefully they'll get knocked out of that soon and he can come join up with his new team. We get our Premier League career underway. Manchester United won earlier in the day against Leeds. We've got the long throws still. Obviously, a bit of a strange start to our Premier League, given that we're playing a team who we played last year as well in the Championship. They got automatically promoted alongside us. I haven't really had a look at how they've changed their team, but hopefully we can prove we were the team that should have been champions, as we were. Tomek plays it through for Torres on the right hand side, and the ball across, and apparently that was an own goal from Collins. what happened here then? So Tomek played the ball down to Torres, and the ball gets drilled in. I mean, that's very harsh to call that an own goal, really. We're going to demand more. That's not the start we wanted to Premier League life. I think this is probably one of the most important games, is beat the teams who are going to be competing with you. And so far, we have not done anything near that. Harry Maguire, own goal for Wolves. What's he doing there? So at half time, it looks like we were getting back into the game a bit. So let's tell them to pick it up. I'm worried by the fact that Collins is furious. We're going to tell Scarlett that we're not happy with his first half performance, and we're going to make a little bit of a change here. We're just going to try and press them just a little bit more. Distribute to the playmaker. And whip the crosses in. And just hopefully just that little bit more pressing and that little bit more patience in the build-up can go our way. Let's encourage them. We're going to have to start to go more direct. Akalde with the free kick sends it in. And Scarlett, that is an absolute sitter for Dane Scarlett. Oh, we can't afford him to have his slow start like he did last year. Chair picks the ball up, finds Forson, and he goes down. It's played through for Casata, and everybody's going down. And the ball forward, the Greek guy picks it up, and he's at. What's Belotti doing it? No. Bournemouth can't have Belotti. That is not fair. That is cheating. And the Greek guys had an absolute howl. Both our centre backs have had howlers in this game. That is not a good start to life in the Premier League at all. We're going to send Rue and Shortire on to try and do something in the rest of this game. But first of all, it's cheating for a team like Bournemouth to have Belotti. Second of all, our two centre backs are the two reasons we're 2-0 down. An own goal and an absolute howler. And now Lookman, jeez, nearly makes it 3-0. And we are looking very shaky on our Premier League debut. Well, kind of. First game of our new Premier League debut. It's not like they haven't been in the league before. But a very, very disappointing start to life in the Premier League. As we find ourselves probably rock bottom with a 2-0 loss, I'm not sure. But we're definitely down there. Go away. I'm not doing an interview. We're only not bottom because Southampton have a letter that comes after ours in the alphabet. That is not the ideal start to a Premier League season. What we'll do now is we are going to jump through to that game against Manchester United. In fact, you know what? We've played Manchester United a couple of times in the series. We'll jump to the Everton and Arsenal games. We'll come back there and see how we're getting on after a few games bedding in the Premier League. If you have enjoyed that, please do leave a like, comment down below what you think of the transfers, and do subscribe if you're enjoying the series. Thank you very much for watching.